Hello and good night. Welcome to another bedtime story. This story is meant to help you sleep or to relax your mind. Try and find a comfortable place, such as your bed or a soft chair. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes now. Try and let go of the day as we begin our tale. Tonight's story is the Iron Stove. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between shadowed mountains and emerald meadows, there lived a prince unlike any other. He was not adorned with silk robes, nor did he rule from a golden throne. No, this prince was trapped inside a great iron stove, an enormous enchanted contraption that sat rusting in the depths of a dark and ancient forest. Long ago, a wicked sorceress had cursed him, binding his body and soul within the cold, unyielding metal. The stove had no doors, no windows, and no visible means of escape. His only connection to the outside world was a small iron grate through which he could speak in a voice that was both sorrowful and commanding. One day, a young princess, lost and weary, stumbled into the dense woods. She had wandered far from her kingdom, lured by the scent of wild roses and the song of an unseen nightingale. As night fell, shadows stretched like grasping fingers, and the howls of unseen creatures filled the air. Trembling, she pressed on until she found herself before the iron stove, its surface cold and lifeless beneath her fingers. A deep voice echoed from within. "Who comes to my prison of iron and sorrow?" The princess gasped, but, summoning her courage, answered, "I am a princess, lost and alone. I seek shelter for the night." The stove let out a sound like a low sigh. "Stay with me, and I shall guide you back to your kingdom. But you must make me a promise. If I help you, you will return and free me from this curse." The princess, thinking this nothing but a strange dream, agreed without hesitation. At once, the stove creaked and shuddered, and the iron grate glowed faintly. A warm wind swirled around her, and before she knew it, she found herself back in her father's castle, safe and sound. But as the days turned to weeks, the memory of the iron stove faded like mist in the morning sun. The princess had no desire to return to the dark forest. Surely it had been nothing more than a fevered vision. Then, one evening, as she sat by the great hall's hearth, the flames flickered and a deep voice rumbled through the castle walls. "You have forgotten me." The princess turned pale. The very walls seemed to whisper the words. The wind howled through the corridors, and the air grew heavy with the scent of rust and old magic. Guilt weighed upon her heart. She had given her word, and a true princess never breaks a promise. With a heavy sigh, she donned a cloak of silver and set off, alone into the woods, seeking the iron stove once more. The stove greeted her, its voice tinged with sadness but also hope. "You have returned. Now, if you truly wish to free me, you must do 3 things. First, you must journey to the edge of the world, where the moon dips into the sea, and retrieve the golden feather of the firebird. The princess, determined to atone, embarked on her quest. She climbed the highest mountains and crossed the stormiest seas. And after many trials, she reached the realm of the Firebird, a radiant creature wreathed in golden flames. With careful hands, she plucked a single feather and returned to the iron stove. "Well done," the voice murmured. "Now you must steal the heart of the Ice Queen and bring it to me." The Ice Queen, ruler of an eternal winter, kept her heart locked in a crystal casket. With cleverness and courage, the princess tricked the queen, taking the casket and racing back before the cold could claim her soul. The iron stove hummed with satisfaction. "The final task. You must break me open with a sword forged from the tears of the innocent." The princess herself wept at this impossible demand. How could she gather such a thing? But as she wandered the land, she met a poor widow, a lost child, a fallen knight, each with a sorrow so pure that their tears shimmered like diamonds. Finding comfort in telling her of their great losses, they agreed that she could have their tears if it would help her, for which she thanked them with tears of her own. From these collected tears, a blade was forged, gleaming and sorrowful. The princess returned to the iron stove in the forest once more. The iron stove, its voice gentle and hopeful now, instructed her to strike him with as much force as she could muster. The princess, having grown strong from all her adventures, gathered her strength, lifted the sword, and, with all her might, struck the iron stove. The metal groaned, cracked, and shattered. From within the broken shell stepped a prince, tall and golden-haired, his eyes shining like the dawn. He had been freed at last. Grateful and filled with love, he knelt before the princess. "You have saved me, and if you will have me, I would rule by your side until the end of days." And so they returned to her kingdom, where the prince and princess were wed beneath a sky of silver and rose, to the joy of everyone in the country. Their reign was long and successful, because they ruled with wisdom and compassion, and their love, forged in iron and tested by trials, endured till the end of their days. And in the deep forest, where the iron stove once stood, wild roses bloomed, and the song of an unseen nightingale filled the air. And the prince and the princess lived happily ever after. The end. Thank you for listening to this bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed the tale tonight. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more audiobooks and tales to come. Until next time.